Your mindset is only as good as the stories you tell yourself. If your mindset is positive, then yes, it will lead you straight towards your goals as long as you have the practices that keeps you on that path. However, if your mindset is negative, it will put you in alignment in the direct opposite of what your goals are. And sometimes can be even worse, it will keep you stuck, and especially through self-sabotage.
Hey there, mamas. Welcome to the Mom Care Coach podcast. And I am your host, Victoria Mattia. I am a certified life and health coach, certified international counselor, and also a homeschooling autism mom and former autism clinic director. I know that you are struggling with holding healthy boundaries around time management, constantly getting less than adequate sleep, and managing deep exhaustion and overwhelm. And you are praying to find a way to have more energy throughout your day. Well, friend, you have come to the right place. In this show, we will talk about how you can guide yourself through a process of self-care strategies that will lead you to the health solutions that you as an autism mom have been searching for, and how providing for your 4 intentional needs, sleep, movement, nutrition, and mindset, can help you avoid burnout. So grab this morning's leftover matcha or pour another cup of your homemade kombucha and pull up a chair, and let's have a chat on how these health solutions can change your life. One more thing, would you like to know more about the online coaching services and health bundles that I offer? If so, please do not hesitate to reach out. My email is mindfulwellnessforautismmoms@gmail.com. Again, mindfulwellnessforautismmoms@gmail.com. And of course, it's also listed in the show notes. Thank you, and I look forward to hearing from you. Now on with our show.
Hello everyone, this is Victoria Mattia, and you are listening in on the Mom Care Coach podcast. If this is your first time, thank you so very much. Thank you. You are always welcome to join us. We are in the middle of a series. So the last few episodes, we have been talking about breaking down our 4 intentional needs. We have spoken about sleep. We have also spoken about nutrition was our last episode. Previous episodes before that, we talked about what compassion fatigue was and how that is related to burnout, specifically for autism moms. And now we are on the intentional need of mindset. So our one big idea for this episode is your mindset is everything. Your mindset are the thoughts you think consciously and subconsciously, and your mindset becomes your life. Okay, so let me explain that. So our mindset is so amazing. I have been listening on Audible by a book by Kendra Hall. She wrote a book years ago called I think something about stories, and all of a sudden I've had a moment where I cannot remember the name of the book. I think it's called The Stories That Stick. And she has recently come out with a new book, and it's all about creating your own story for your life. And it's really amazing. So if you want to Google her or go on to Audible, you can find all about this new book that she just released, as well as her previous ones. And I'm really enjoying it because it's all about the stories we tell ourselves, which of course is mindset. So a lot of times when you look at a person's life when they are really successful, you can see evidence of what they have been thinking and what they have been telling themselves. But on the other hand, when you see someone who is working to become successful in a particular area, Maybe it's an intentional need. Maybe it is financial. Maybe it is the relationship with their children. It really can be anything, but there's going to be evidence. It's going to be evidence of the success that they are creating. And if that's not the case and they are struggling and they're wanting to be more successful, there's going to be evidence of the story that they have been saying to themselves, even if it is negative. And so that's what I want to talk about today. Our story are the things that we say to ourselves consciously and unconsciously, and it creates our current reality. And when we are creating a new reality, meaning we're wanting to have success in a particular area, then what happens is that it takes several weeks and months to create that new reality, because we have to take a look at the current paradigm that we are working in. Now, this is a huge topic, and it would probably take several episodes to just break down one piece of what I am talking about, but we're going to just really focus on our current mindset, how we can create a positive mindset throughout our daily interactions, and that will give us the success that we want. So our intentional need that we're working on today is mindset. So if we're wanting to create a positive mindset, it's about taking a look at the thoughts that we are thinking and the story that we are telling ourselves. So I know for myself, and I think for many autism moms, I saw a statistic recently where it says over 60% of autism moms struggle with depression or anxiety. So I wanted to kind of talk about how we can create a positive mindset. Now, I've heard something called toxic positivity, meaning you are just trying to tell yourself lots of things that may not really be true for you, or you just don't believe it. I am not talking about that. I'm talking about creating the life that you want when it comes to what you're thinking about. So I know for myself, I am always working to be more positive and to look at things through a perspective of positivity. But for me, it's also the lens of my faith. I am a Hebrew woman. I am faith-based. I am traditional. I observe Torah. Now, I understand that this may not be your perspective. What I am saying is that whatever your perspective is, if you're wanting to become more positive, you have to have more positive thoughts, right? Your story has to be something that you believe, but it needs to be in a positive lens. So if you are a person who's thinking, wow, things never work out well for me, I never have what I want, I don't have the income I want, I'll never be able to create it for whatever the reason is, even as I say those words right now, they just have a really negative connotation. So if those phrases are things that you are saying to yourself, whether it is conscious or unconscious, or you've said this to yourself for years, or something that you grew up believing, whatever that is, if you're wanting to train your brain to have a different mindset, then you have to put on belief, okay? You have to have faith that you were created to be successful and that God wants you to be successful. Success has a different meaning for different people. It depends on the season that you are in. It depends on what it is you're wanting currently. All of that does play a part in it. But first, you have to be open to even being successful and being open to being positive and to being open to believing that you can have the things that you want. So that's what I mean when I say put on belief, to believe that it's possible for you. So when we're wanting to do that, one of the things that I think is really powerful is journaling. Why? Journaling can be really impactful rather, because you are writing what's coming to your mind, and you can also see the mindset that you are currently in. And as you are writing things down, you can look back and say, oh, wow, I was thinking about this and all of these things. And When you do this, a tactical would be when you are looking back on your pages of journals that you have, or perhaps you're starting something new, does it have a tone of belief? Does it have a tone of success? Or does it have a tone of things that you want and you don't have yet? Is it negative? Is it saying things, I want this, I want that, I want this, I never get this? What is the tone of that body of work? Now, I'm not saying that you cannot write down your feelings and your emotions and what you're going through. I 100% believe that you should. My question to you is, what is the tone of it? It's possible to write down all of our feelings, our emotions, and what we're going through, okay? But still have a spirit of possibility and of belief and of hope, even in the midst of difficult circumstances. That has a different tone than if a person is going through the exact same difficult circumstances, but is more negative about it. So step one would be, what is the tone of the words that are coming out of your mouth or out of your head if you are journaling it all down? Step two would be, do you believe it's possible for you to have a positive mindset? Sometimes people will flippantly say, that's just how I am, or that's how I've always been, when they are thinking about a particular characteristic of themselves that they want to change, but perhaps they have thought that's how they've always been, and maybe that character trait has been with them since childhood, and they have come to the understanding that maybe that isn't something they can change. I'm here to tell you that our brains are really amazing how they were created, and it's possible to change so much about what we think, what we believe, our paradigm, our understanding of the different particular circumstances and life positions. All of that can be molded and changed if you choose. I think the important thing is you have to make a choice. What is it that you want? So that brings us to step 3. You need to decide what it is you want. If you want that positive mindset, are you willing to look at the words that you are saying and how you're thinking about things? Are you open to having a conversation with yourself, if you will, when it comes to molding your words to match what it is you're wanting to achieve? In the book that I was mentioning earlier, this new book by Kendra Hall, she mentions that in the story, the scene of The Wizard of Oz, when it's talking about the yellow brick road, she talks about how the yellow brick road is symbolism like in our life. We create that though as we go. And we can choose to create some beautiful thing we're working towards, or we can create a road where you don't know what the ending is because you don't have something in your mindset to create the thing that you actually want. So many times people have a desired expectation of where they would like to go, but they don't know how to create that because they haven't sat down, focused on what it is what it's going to take to actually get them to the desired result. So we want to think about, are we willing to change? Are we open to having a positive mindset? What are the words that we're actually using for ourselves, consciously and unconsciously? And then also, are we willing to, like step 4 would be, are we willing to put in the work to change our mindset? Now, mindset is such a huge topic, in my opinion. Of course, when we're talking about our 4 intentional needs and the need of mindset, the goal is to have a calm mind. A calm mind, to me, is a person that is able to think before they react. They're able to logically rationalize something out, not to just react in an emotional way without actually thinking about it clearly. So we want to have a mindset where we can consciously think about what it is we're wanting to create, who we're wanting to become, and to be able to create that. Not to live in a reactionary mode, not to live in survival mode. Wanting to really look at what it is we're thinking about and to create positivity when we're coming from a place of love and care for ourselves. So the last tip number 5, when we're wanting to create a positive mindset, the tactical of finding help. And one of the things that I like to do is read books. I like to read physical books, and I also like to read audible books where I'm listening to it. And sometimes I like to do both, where I have the physical book, I'm reading it, and I'm also listening to it. Because sometimes, I call it mama brain, especially when you're doing lots of things at one time, or you have lots of little people asking for things at one time, or, you're just busy doing so many things throughout your day. It's kind of nice to be able to listen to something and then also read it, for me personally as well, because sometimes it's easy to miss something that you heard, because I believe I heard only 70% of what is actually said you actually consume. And actually, I think it may even be less than that. So when you are reading, and like with Audible, where you're actually listening to a book, it's really good to listen to it a couple times so that you can actually remember and understand everything that's actually coming in. So for me, I like to read, and I also like to listen to books as well. Also surrounding yourself with like-minded people. And if you don't have that support system in the physical, what's really great about online is that you can create that community, whether it is through social or it's through I have a Facebook group for other autism moms, and it's called the Mom Care Coach. You are welcome to join it. You can just email me. It is a private group, so whatever is said in there, everyone is able to support each other. And then that can be really, really helpful when it comes to positive mindset. And also, if you are looking to have more support, I have online coaching. I support 3 people through life coaching and health coaching. If that's something you are interested in, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. You can email me, and of course my email is always written in the description notes. So I hope these 5 tips, although maybe a little bit unusual, things to think about our mindset, is really, really powerful. The topic is so huge. We may need to devote another episode to kind of breaking that down, because it is so huge, right? Mindset is so powerful. It really is our own story, and sometimes when we're wanting to rewrite our story, we have to look at things through so many different lenses so that we can have an appropriate way of seeing how we can go about changing certain perspectives, changing our paradigm, our mindset, all of that. So much is connected. So again, if you're needing support, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. And I hope that this episode has impacted you in a way that can create change and help you to have more understanding and love and grace for yourself. So until next time, thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you for listening to my mom's podcast.
Don't forget to follow and leave a review.
It is so important. The reason why is because that's really the only way that other autism moms know of this podcast and are able to receive from this amazing information. So thank you so much. Don't forget to like and leave a review and share with all your friends and download. Bye.
Thank you so very much for listening in. If you have learned something new today or have been blessed by this show in any way, please share it with a friend. And don't forget to head over to iTunes and leave a 5-star review. And feel free to take a screenshot and tag me on Instagram, and I will tag you back. Thank you and be well.